गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. We are in Amrutanubhava chapter 7, OV number 194, and in 193 we saw, is it worthwhile to argue and conclude whether the mirror can see or cannot see its clean surface? And if it is not worth discussing that type of point, at some point or the other in one's sadhana, it is advisable to drop reading, arguments, discussions, and expose the mind to silence, because all this discussions, talking about reality, as long as we told you in the meditation, as long as we are in the mind, you cannot come to know the reality. So our mind, some point, it must come to us enough, and then we, instead of thinking, we remain silent. And that is what Swamiji is saying, expose your mind to silence. That is where the overhauling of yourself will come about. Gradually the mind will lose its functioning ability, and the long entrenched habit of expressing in terms of Dvaita and Dvandva, meaning in dualism and duality, because what we are expressing right now, what is written here, it's all in dualism and duality. It's words. Words are many. They are talking about that one, but words cannot be that one. Mind is thinking about that one, but mind cannot be that one. Eventually this particular habit will be atrophied by disuse. This is the state of being with one's own self. See, in Kumbh Mela when I went, I'll put the photographs, I have not put them on the website. There was one guru and one chela, one teacher and his disciple. The teacher, for 35 years, he had put his arm up, and because he had put his arm up, now after few years, he could not, even if he wanted to bring it down, it will not come down. So, how to share his frustration? Then he made one disciple and told him, oh great Maharaj, you said 20 years you are with the hand. Yes, I am so. What can I do? You put your leg up. So his disciple for last 25 years, he has got his leg up and he can't put his leg down. If we don't, similarly, if we don't write for a long time, we find it very difficult to write with pen, isn't it? The words don't come out very nicely. Similarly, it's a habit. Mind also has got a habit of asking questions, of discussing, of reading, of wanting to know objectively. This needs to be stopped. This needs to be stopped. And this can only be stopped when we expose it to silence. Once you start, right now we are enjoying thinking. Once we start enjoying the silence, then thinking will slowly, the word is atrophied, means it will, even if you want to, it will not. And then don't get afraid. That is important. Don't get afraid then. Because there is no end to thinking. There is no end to thinking. What are we here? are we here to know through the mind the self, or are we here to be the self? That is the question. And all this reading and discussing and questioning, it all leads to more mind, that's all. If at all we want to discuss, read, etc., every reading must lead to silence, every discussion must lead to silence, every question, if answer comes to it, or even just a question, who am I, must lead to silence. It should not generate more questions. See? And another example of the face with reference to the mirror is taken up. Samora pathi moria mukhe ho ye arisiya vachuni taya pratitaya hoaveka. The face is considered to be in front or back with reference to the mirror. In fact, can the face be considered as back or front? When the face is in the front of the mirror, it is said that the mirror is in front of the face. Or if the face is behind the mirror, it will be said that it is behind. This front and back of the face is with reference to the mirror. By itself, the face is neither in the front nor in the back. Yeah? Our face, not someone else's face. Our face is where it is. Only with reference to the mirror, it is going in the front or the back. Only with reference to something else, extra vocabulary is coming. I am son, I am daughter, I am father, I am body, I am mind. It's all coming because of reference to something. Just like here, front and back is because of the mirror. Similarly, in other cases also. Similarly, with reference to the trio, the experiencer termed as happy or miserable is only a relative subject, the pseudo subject, not the real one. So, whenever we take ourselves to be a knower, we take ourselves to be an experiencer, we take ourselves to be the seer, hearer, thinker, meditator, feeler. Every time we take any position, it is always with reference to something. And the moment we have taken a position with reference to something or define ourselves in relation to something, that very moment it is not the real me. Then who is it? It is that ghost who is functioning then. The imaginary me. The mother is the imaginary me, the father is the imaginary me. They are just one idea in our mind, one name I have given to myself. Then who is the one real me? Find out. Find out who are you, which is the real you. Drop all these conditionings, drop all these definitions about yourself with respect to anything and everything in this world. It will be you. What remains will be you. Hence, the definition of Anandam is independent existence, independent of the experienced, and therefore does not suffer the sukham dukkham of the pseudo subject, the individuality. Independent existence. Swatantrya. Another name for the reality is independent existence. It is ever free, it is undependent, unrelated to anything. And that you are. But this addiction of thinking is so much. This addiction of thinking is so much that we find it. Yesterday I gave a talk at Amachi's ashram, and there they were showing one video of Ammaji, and that Ammaji said, you cannot, The topic was embracing peace. And the first thing that Ammaji said was, peace is beyond the mind. Peace is beyond the mind. And where do we search for the peace? In our mind. Because we have made peace also into a concept.
Yes, concept, that's also.
Isn't it?
Yes, we don't really know what peace is.
Yeah, we are, exactly.
We don't know.
We're thinking, I want peace, I want peace, I want peace when this fellow goes away, I want peace when my food, hunger will be satiated, I will have peace when this, when that, when this. There's no end to it. We have made peace also into a concept, whereas peace is your essential nature. We have made love into a concept, whereas love is your essential nature. We have made independence into a concept, whereas independence is your essential nature. We have made truth into a concept, whereas truth is your essential nature. See, when we, as long as we are thinking about these various words that we just now said, without a direct experience, till then it is only a concept. And we are just running from pillar to post. That's all we are doing. In our mind. Our attention, while we are thinking, our attention should not be on what is being heard or what are the thoughts coming in our mind. Our attention should be on the substratum. Our attention should be on the foundation on which these thoughts are coming and going. Then thinking will not be able to affect you. Then you have gone beyond thinking if your attention is there. The pure Advaita face will never be referred to as reflected face unless there is a reflecting medium in front of it. See? The non-dual face of the reality that you essentially are will never be reflected if there is no reflecting mirror. Will you walk around and say, I'm seeing my face in a mirror? Will you, if there was no mirror, will you be able to see it? Will you be able to comment about it? Will you be able to talk about it? Because you don't need to see. Similarly, this Advaita Tattva, meaning this essential self, the mirror on which it is reflecting is where? It is the mirror of the mind. It is the mirror of the mind. And there it is reflecting all the time. And the moment it reflects, remember the genesis, the consciousness reflecting in the mirror, the first appearance is I thought and that thought. Isn't it? I thought remains the same, that thought keeps changing. The I is one per thought. But this I thinks, imagines that it is continuous. This continuous imagined entity, this imagined continuity is the ego, is the individuality. See? So, as long as you are considering yourself to be the mind, till then you are knocking on the wrong door. You have to go beyond the mind, and for that do whatever. The moment the mirror is brought in front of the original face, a second face that is a reflection of the face is created. The moment the mirror is removed, the reflection as well as the reflected face are removed along with the mirror. This oneness, this absence of two-ness is emphasized again and again by Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. So, the moment you all come in front of me, this face forgets who he is, What does he start behaving as? The teacher. Isn't it? The moment in front of you the children come, you forget that you are the woman, you start behaving as the mother. The moment husband comes, you forget the woman, you start behaving as the wife. So these are the, why wife came about? Because the husband came. Let it be in physical form or let it be in a thought also. But the I forgets its original nature and starts behaving as something else.
It's like when you put a box of paints in front of me, I immediately start painting in the line, sort of.
Okay. I, the pure self, is independent of the experiencer or the object of experience. So it is independent of the object of experience. It is independent of the experiencer of that object. How do we know anything in this world? Experiencer, experienced, and the instrument of experiencing, isn't it? And where are all these three? In the mind alone. Who are you? Independent of all these three. Independent of all these three. For this, a deep contemplation is required. For this, an exposure to silence is required. For this, purification, which is equal to less number of thoughts erupting in your mind, is required. Then it becomes evident. Then this becomes self-evident. You will watch it, that, array, yes, this is true. But as long as there is the thoughts are erupting at a million thoughts a second or a minute, it's very difficult to know that. Because you're not able to grasp, you're just caught up in the trap of thoughts. These two get cancelled in their mutual dependence, just as the reflected face and the reflection are in mutual dependence. The reflected face and the reflection are dependent on each other. But the pure face is not affected when the mirror is removed. So also the pure self is not affected when there is an experiencer and an experienced object, because they get cancelled in mutual dependence. What remains is the pure self. Exactly what I have just said. Contemplation on these examples will make one's position clear. All doubts will be cleared and answered from within. No answer to one's problems can ever come from outside, because the problem is in me, and in me alone lies the answer. The more the thought is centered on this divine, eternal, omnipresent center, to that extent the truth is revealed. This was told in Bhagavatam yesterday. The city of Mathura, where Krishna has come, is besieged by one of the kings, an evil king. And he has a boon that nobody can kill him. Because one demoness, she has, the parents, when the child was born, two parts of the body were born separately. Half body separate, half body separate. They didn't know what to do. So they threw the body away. Two parts. One demoness, she brought the parts together and joined them, and he became indestructible. Just like we have come together. I thought and that thought have come together. And ego has come out. He is the representation of that ego. They're indestructible. Till you don't break it apart. And he comes with a huge army, and Krishna has and all the people in that city, they, what to do? They are all afraid, scared. Oh, Now, oh, we will all get destroyed, this, that. But everyone's attention is on Lord Sri Krishna. And at that moment, while they are looking at him, who has defeated this fellow 17 times, but this time, this 18th time is a unique one. This side, this fellow comes, from the other side, the Yavana, Kalayavan, he comes with a 1 million strong army. Now, both, they are very, very scared. What to do? All the people, for all the time, 17, 18 times, the only solace they had was, the only focus they had was Krishna. They did not think that, oh, let's get together and give them a fight. No. Whatever Krishna says, we'll do that. And Krishna single-handedly, along with his brother, annihilates the entire army for 17 times. But this 18th time, he says, yeah, if we go that side, this fellow will come and kill. If we go this side, this fellow will come and kill. What to do? Then he creates, in a moment's notice, he creates the Dwarka, the place where he lived, the golden city in the sea. But my point of narrating this was, all the people's attention was only on Krishna. Yes, their mind was afraid. Yes, they are afraid of their annihilation. Yes, they did not know what solution to come up with. But in spite of all that, their attention was only on the Lord and the solutions presented themselves. Because Lord is the solution. Lord is everything. And what are we doing? If we keep thinking about the source of fear, let it be death, let it be accident, let it be disease, let it be whatever, it becomes a big thing in our mind, isn't it? And what is the Lord, or through this text that we are studying, or whatever Bhagavad Gita says, Upanishads say, what are they telling us? Focus on the divine, focus on the source, focus on the essence, be the essence. See? What I say, keep saying, focus on such thoughts which do not lead to any conclusion. This is from Advait point of view. From devotion point of view, focus on the Lord to the exclusion of all other thoughts. Isn't it? On the form of the Lord or on the name of the Lord. But we are not ready to do that. We are more focused on asking questions. We are more focused on our doubts. We are more focused on, oh, I don't know this, I don't know that, I must know this, I must know that. We are more focused to find solutions in this world. But there are no solutions in this world. There can never be solutions in this world. Temporary solutions, yes, but no permanent solution in this world. Because, why? World is continuously changing. By the time you have found one solution, next problem is already waiting. They have discovered one pill to take care of one particular disease. Then the next strain of that disease comes, again they need funding, again they need experiments to create the next strong dose, how to do it. Different parts of the world, some new strains of bacteria are coming, viruses are coming. From where? It will keep happening, there's no end to it. So if you are going to think that by finding solutions to the problems, even in your own teeny mini world called your home, or your own relations, you cannot find solution. The only way is come back to the self. When you come back to the self, no solutions are required. Everything is perfect. In the world, no solutions are possible. No permanent solutions are possible. In the self, no solutions are required. because it is all that there is. Then you will be all that there is. In the next verse, सर्वांगे देखणाद रवि परि ऐसे घड़े केवी जो उदो अस्तुची चची चवी स्वये घेपे. The sun is ever effulgent, but can it experience the sunset and sunrise? The sun is of the nature of light, but is it ever possible for the sun that the sun experiences its own rise and setting? This is a very good thought so far as the vision of the Absolute is concerned. The sun's nascent light is not visible, pure sunlight is dark, but it is the reflected light that is perceived as an opponent of darkness. So also the sunrise and sunset do not exist in the sun itself. They appear only appearances in relation to the earth. The sun itself cannot know the beauty of its own rising and setting. Therefore, so long as one thinks in terms of conditioned expression, there is no end to thinking. Conditioned expression, when you take yourself to be someone else, when you take the sun to be conditioned by what? Sunrise and sunset. When you take sun to be what? Light, which is opposition to dark. When you take yourself as what? As husband or wife in relation to the husband or your partner. See, you can never come to know yourself, you can never be happy. No, but then continue. There is no answer to that. There is no solution to that. As a relative entity, you can never be permanently happy. So should we discard the relativity? No, let the phenomena continue. Play the game, but don't lose who you are. In wherever you are, right now also you are something. Every moment, as long as you are in this world, as long as you are moving in this body, you will be somewhere. Some action will be going on. But recognize that you are the essence. Be the essence. The moment the angle of vision is changed, there is nothing to think. That is the only way to arrive at the truth, not by logic, only by the tyaga of the value one gives to one's own experiences. The entire world of experience as well as one's present stand on these experiences must be given up. And that is what we find hard to give, isn't it? We understand it here, but the moment class is over, we fall back into the same trap. Even if we sit silently, other people come. Oh, is something wrong? Why are you silent? Did we do anything wrong? Is everything okay? And on and on and on and on. And then you feel, oh my God, because of me all these people are getting disturbed. Better say I am all fine, then they will stop asking the questions. Isn't it? It's better to make a story than tell them the truth. It becomes a problem otherwise.
Half the time we tell lies because we don't feel good, thank you.
Because we are not, we need to be comfortable with who we are. Yesterday's topic was this, embracing peace. You cannot embrace peace. Who is able to give happiness to other people? He who is happy. So who will be able to give peace to others? He who is peaceful within himself or herself. Isn't it? So what embracing peace? Here you are miserable entity, frustrated within, and talking about tolerance, talking about compassion, talking about empathy, and yourself frustrated. Your vision is in duality. This religion versus that religion, husband versus wife. Look at everyone's home, and they go around talking about there should be harmony, harmony, harmony in the society. You know? Until and unless we do not recognize that we are the source, we are the essence, till then, who can give donation to someone? Only who has money. If you don't have money, how can you give donation? If you don't have peace, how can you give other people? How can you even see the peace anywhere? You will be only demanding peace for yourself. A person who is hungry, he is only demanding food from some source or the other. He is not giving food to others. Just as from the viewpoint of the sun, there is no rising and setting, from the point of view of one's essential being, there is nothing like the trio of experiencer, experienced and experiences. They may be there like the waves on the ocean, but because of them I does not suffer, means the I do not suffer. Not only that, don't take only the experiencer, experience and experiencing. Even the waker, dreamer and deep sleeper are only imaginary. They are not real. They are only in your mind. The I is taking the role of the waker, and corresponding to that, remember, I and that, they form an experience. So waker and waking world. Waking world is that. The one who is seeing the waking world is this I. It is the waker. Same thing, the dreamer and the dream world. These are all imaginations. Don't be too serious. And you know when you look back that yesterday's waker, dreamer, deep sleeper and their corresponding worlds are known by you. That I am not that. Then why this problem in the present moment? Because of our insistence that this world is real. This insistence must be given up. If you have a habit to insist upon something, then insist that I am the reality, that I am the infinite, that I am that independent principle, that I am the all-knowing. I may not know right now, but I am. Story over. Why keep insisting that this world is real? Why keep insisting that this body is real? Why keep insisting that this disease is real? Because we're giving attention and value to that disease, to that world, to that problem, to that personality that we are, husband, wife or whatever. Withdraw your attention from that and give the attention and value to the reality. And be that. To the extent that we give attention to the reality that we are, to that extent the impact of the world, to that extent the impact of the mind on us, on the I, will reduce. To that extent. There are 4 stages in the spiritual evolution vis-a-vis trippity. First, for the ignorant man, the trippity is the reality. Trippity seer, seen, seeing, hearer, heard, hearing, experiencer, experienced, experiencing. For an ignorant person, this is the reality. Second, for the seeker on the path, the trippity does not seem to be the reality. For the seeker, we are all seekers. We understand it, but we still get caught up in it every now and then. So, the trippity does not seem to be the reality when we are in satsang, but we fall prey to it the moment we move out of the satsang. See, for the advanced seeker, the trippity, the triad, is definitely not the reality. Why? The advanced seeker is continuously in the witnessing mode. The advanced seeker is continuously in silence. This is the difference between the beginner seeker and the advanced seeker. And fourth, for the Jivan Mukta, for the realized, the man of wisdom, the triad, the trippity goes on like a screenplay, but I, the substratum, remains untouched. The trippity goes on for the realized master. Can we ever stop it? No. Can the ocean ever stop the waves from coming and going? No. But the water knows. Let them come and go. I am the water. Story over. Gold knows. Let the ornaments come. Let the different forms come. Let it be melted. Let me be melted. Let the form come up again. But the gold itself never gets affected because of the ornament. Because whether there is ornament or no ornament, gold always is. Whether there is wave or no wave, water always is. Whether there is trippity or no trippity, the self always is. Whether there is waker or dreamer or deep sleeper or not there, the I, the essential I that I am, that always is. This way come to yourself.
So, will a Jivan Mukta never go to sleep? Like, never sleep at all? The body rests and sleep?
No, the mind may go to sleep, but they are always awake. The mind may go to sleep, but they are awake.
So even if you enter the room or something, they'll know?
They'll know. You also have behaved that way many times. Why only Jivan Muktas? But you don't recognize. They are in that state all the time, 24 hours a day. Ever in awareness. And it is not that you are in sleeping and you wake up because someone has come. You are aware. You are even aware of the sleep. Because sleep is of the mind, not of the self. The mind goes to sleep, the mind dreams, the mind wakes up. Self does not go to sleep. What did I say? Prakriti, nature, or the differences, the variety of the creation, they cannot stick to the truth. They cannot stick to the self. The waves cannot stick to the water. Because from water's point of view, there are no waves. Sunrise and sunset cannot stick to the sun, because sun never rises and never sets. Waker, dreamer and deep sleeper cannot stick to the self, because self is independent of all these three. Then where is the problem? But I am the self. Yes, now think. Now think. Why is that? Why do you think you are the waker, dreamer, deep sleeper? Because you are giving value to the creation. You stop giving value to the creation, instead give value to the self. This matrix will dissolve itself. This overemphasis that we have given to the world, that needs to be curtailed, that needs to be dissolved, that needs to be sublimated. And that cannot come by your thinking, that not come about by your thinking. That will only come about by being the self. And even right now you are that. So four angles were given. First, the ignorant man, the triad is a reality for the seeker. He knows that triad is not the reality. For the advanced seeker, he is independent of the triad, and there is no more doubt in his mind with regards to his own being. There is no doubt. But where is all this happening? Still in his intellect. So he is absolutely convinced. There is no doubt. But he has not become independent of the mind yet, or maybe he is exposing himself to silence. And the fourth stage, when he does that, is the realized person. The realized person does not get affected by the presence or absence of the triads that appear on the mind. He is ever established in the essential self, which is supporting all the triads. The more the attention is on the independent substratum, the easier will it be to drop everything. We cannot keep dropping things in our life. Cannot. This example we have given hundreds of times. When you go to sleep, you do not drop the world. All you do is you focus on the sleep and the world get dropped, isn't it? Exactly the same thing. Focus on the reality, allow the world to be dropped. You try to drop the world, where is your attention? On the world. It will not get dropped. It will enter into you in a different way. There are many leak holes there. And what do we drop? We only drop things when people talk about letting go, dropping, grow out. All this is happening only in the waking world. What about the dream world? What about the deep sleep? You have to take all the three together. Or you have to analyze the micro, and that is one experience, one thought you have to analyze. The mind will disappear. Glimpses of the truth are seen intermittently, like the glow of the glowworm winking in the dark. The consolidation of these divine experiences is called meditation. This can be achieved only by dropping everything, actions, progeny, wealth, and everything that one holds dear in this mortal world, including the attachment to the physical frame, that is the Guru, including that. How? But, no but. But they say you need a Guru, then go to that Guru. Then go and study that. You want to come, you want to be permanently happy, then accept. You will have to accept this. No, but evolution cannot take place without the help of a teacher. They say, without the Guru, understanding cannot come about. Grace is required of a teacher. Take it. But you must come to a point in that process of growth where you even discard that physical teacher. You recognize that the real teacher is within my heart as my own self. Because you are not accepting it, therefore we are compensating by an outside teacher. That's all. That is all. And in this way, the teacher, Jnaneshwar Maharaj, is giving example after example after example. We'll see the 196th verse in our next class. Or should we do it? enough for today.
That's now it's 1 a.m.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnahat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.